All right, Joe, I'm ready when you are. FTK myakashi. Um, all right. So the whole point of this is just FTK your opponent turn one, or the whole point of it is decking them out. So what we played were three soul absorbing bone towers. So what this card does, every time you successfully, each time you summon a zombie monster from your extra deck, your opponent takes two, the middle to the top in their graveyard. So what we did with this were we ran three Daikis, the Grateful myakashi. Every time a myakashi monster is special summoned from your great extra deck, this card mills two card. This card comes back, so it's not a once per turn. It's not. It just goes off every time you bring one out. So the thing is, you summon one from your extra deck. They mill two. You bring her back. They mill another two. So every turn they're milling. Every time you do it, they mill four cards. Then we played four um Haju. He's your main one-star monster in the deck. So what do you use? Summon him. You special summon Daiki. They mill two off this, and then you do the sync for your three, and then you climb a ladder, and they keep milling. Next, we played three solitaires. The cards in here to add is just it's another tuner in here, and also it's not a tuner. Well, my bad. It's in here as a target, also as a discard target for one of the cards I'm about to go into. Next, we played two Mizuki, best card for zombies. We played two Danger Mothman. What this card does is you reveal it in your hand, and you shuffle. Basically, you're going to shuffle your hand. Your opponent chooses one card in hand. If you choose this card, it goes to the drop. You draw two, and then you draw two, and then both players discards a card, and then if they didn't choose it, you draw one card. But when you use the effect, you can choose to summon a Mothman from your deck, which you never want to do. You just and don't ever do that. Next, we're playing two Unizombies. Another tuner card in here to help climb a chain. And then we played the one Saifu. When he's normal, you special summon a myakashi from your graveyard, and their effects are on so he's in here just in case if they at the end game if they stop you somehow, you can just use him to get the Daiki back and sink to kill him. That's all my monsters. Into the main deck, we played three double summon, three hand destruction, three myakashi return. This card, when you play this, you choose a myakashi from your deck, either add to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Next, we played three Book of Life, two Call of Mummy. The card is one of the best cards in this deck because your whole deck, what you do, you play this first turn, you normal summon the Bone Towers, actually double summon, or you just play this, plus summon Bone Towers, and you still have a normal summon, and you can either double summon and go off, do more summons. I know the ban list was dropped to come out, so we actually did play the one soul charge. I'm going to swap this out for one more Call of Mummy because Call of Mummy is really powerful for this deck. And to continue with the one-ups, we played one Upstart Goblin, top draw power, and you really don't care an opponent's life point because you're not burning them, you're decking them out. 1 day apiece, in case you don't get the chain, you go 1 day apiece, draw a card, and hopefully protect yourself until you get the chain. One Monster Reborn, one Fortis Burial, one card destruction, and a 1-for-1. And that's it for the main. That's all the spells I play for the main deck. I don't play any traps at all. Going into my extra deck, we're going to get into how I the chain basically. So we're going to start to show you how I start the chain off. We play first three of the wheelman himself. I can't pronounce it. It's like with Orboro or something. Orbor, the wheeled myakashi. He's a 3-drop. So the cool thing about myakashi is none of them have field effects until they go to the graveyard and they come back from the graveyard. And each one revolves off each other. So he doesn't have he. So like you have to replay three of the 5-drops. So let's say you get rid of the 5-drop. His effect goes off. The five level 5 one goes to the drop. You could ban the zombie from your graveyard and then special summon him. And then he has an effect where my hostage cannot be destroyed by battle. His effect is when he comes back is you and your opponent know the top 3 cards of your deck. And one thing cool about him, you only can have one of each myakashi on the field, so it's pretty limited. Next you play 2 Tengus. And then if Tengu comes back from the graveyard, he's basically an MST basically. Next we play Yoko. What Yoko does from the graveyard, he comes back, he destroy you. You can destroy one of your opponent monsters on the field. Next we play level 11 dude. He comes back if your link monster is destroyed, and if he comes back, all my casting monsters are unaffected by card effects. And then for the last thing into your ladder, you're playing 3 of the link monsters. The cool thing about the link is if you have the link out and you have him on the field, and that's it, they have to swing at the big dude before they hit the link monster, and that way if they destroy the big dude, cool, he goes to the graveyard, and then they have to swing at him, and then you could just use his effect and then bring him out because they got rid of her. But the FTK deck revolves around climbing a ladder up to your link, and then once you get the link out, your Daiki comes back, and you either have the Mizuki or Book of Life, and just reclimb the ladder again to deck them out. And that's for my whole deck. There is no side deck. I don't, because I cannot figure out a side deck for the deck to keep the FTK build. But if I had a side deck, I have to do it with the beatdown is you summon and get everyone on down with their effects. Yeah. But that is the whole deck.